CVA's AccuraSeries, Bagara barrels for guaranteed accuracy, nitride for guaranteed rust proofing, and a rifle guaranteed to be the best muzzleloader you've ever shot. CVA, it's just a better gun.
This segment's being brought to you by 3rd Regiment Game Calls. Friends, family, and faith in the outdoors. One call at a time. All right, everybody, it's time for this week's Pictures of the Week. They're being brought to you by Flowers Garden Center and Deer Processing. You guys can get down there soon and get all of your flower and gardening needs taken care of. Right now, they're looking at opening up right around the 1st of April. And as soon as we have a solid date from them, we're going to let y'all know here. Be sure to tell them thank you for everything they do for us here at the show. All right, our first picture of the week here, this is my buddy Cy Taylor, and this is a nice bass that he caught here recently. I've known Cy basically his whole life, but he is one of our Bass Nation anglers that we follow around through all these tournaments. We love all of them to death, so congratulations on that one, Cy. All right, this is a good fish here. You know who that fella is right there, Terry?
Yes, sir.
That's Mr. Roy Whitehead.
Big Roy.
And he is could we call him a legend yet? I don't know, but I tell you what, Mr. Roy is always putting nice fish in the boat, and I believe he was out with Joe James when he caught this fish. Yeah. But congratulations to him on another nice one. All right, this is Chris Elliott and Daniel Brown. And Chris and Daniel, I've known Chris for a long, long time, and he went out with Daniel Brown, you know, just a couple of weeks, or it might not even been more than a week ago now, but they caught about 60 white bass and hybrid in just a couple hours one morning while he was out with Daniel, so congratulations on that. Several nice fish they're holding there. That's a good day right there. And right here at the end, you'll like this one here, Donald. This is Kelly, Harold, and LJ Frakes, and they were on a squirrel hunt here in late February, and on that day LJ got his first squirrel. So congratulations to LJ and to the whole family for getting out there and doing that. I know now how much fun they had doing it, so congratulations on that. You guys can send your pictures to us here at 474 James Robertson Parkway here in Nashville, Tennessee, or get them to me on Facebook or at the email there on the screen, and we'll get them on the show here just as soon as we can. All right, welcome back. You know, guys, we talked just a little bit at the end of that video about the dogs that we were using, right, but let's kind of go back to that. I'll make sure I say this right. These are Barger stock Feist. Right. Is that correct? Now, where are they out of?
They're out of Harriman, Tennessee.
Okay.
The gentleman that started it, I think his father really started it first, and he got into it a little later, which he was 75, so he'd been in a long time, yeah, and everything. Passed away this past year with the virus. Had a rough time with it, but he spent a lot of time working with this breed, which he's worked hard enough with it that the NKC, which is National Kennel Club, is took his breed and put it in their registry. Yeah,
that's fantastic. That's big time there.
Right, that's big time.
That's big time. Well, they're super neat little dogs. You know, I would describe them as being a little larger than a beagle, I guess.
Right.
A little longer legs.
Yeah, they come in different sizes, and it's other fast breed out there is probably as equal as good. I started out with these and had good success, so I've just stayed with them.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
No.
And now you used to hunt. You used to be in the beagle hound game, didn't
right.
you? And then you kind of switched gears and moved over.
I've had all kinds of breeds of dogs, and did turkey hunting, did deer hunting. Don't do no deer hunting anymore. Don't do no turkey hunting anymore.
Too cold for all that, isn't it?
But fishing and fooling with these dogs, it's something that's really enjoyable. We get a lot of exercise. Yeah. You're going to do a lot of walking.
Yeah.
I think it's great for the kids.
It is. Now those kids had a ball.
Where turkey hunting is a patient thing, deer hunting is a patient thing, and kids, that's hard.
Sometimes they're a little slim on that,
right?
But they could walk around and talk and cut up and have a big time. And the kids we had with us that day, they just had the biggest time. They talked about it ever since. But you talk about the walking. It was funny. We were about, I don't know, halfway through that day or so, walking across one of those hills, and of course you and I know we didn't really go that far, in my opinion. But Chance came walking over there to his dad, and he said, "Dad," he said, "I don't think I've ever walked this far in my life."
I heard him say that.
But they loved it. They ate up every minute of it. But it keeps them involved. That they're either able to watch the dogs hunting, or they're able to hear them barking, and they're going to them. So it's a pretty neat deal, and they hunt. I didn't know whether to expect they were going to be right in front of us or get way out ahead of us, but I kind of saw them doing both. They'll stick to you when you want them to. But the
distance they're going to get out is a lot of what kind of training they've had. It's some go 600-700 yards on you. The feist and everything.
That wouldn't be my kind of dog.
They're not my kind of dog.
You don't like to walk that much, do you, Terry?
Of
course, that's in part of their training. My idea is a 200-yard dog.
Yeah, and that's about exactly what they would be from us,
And I worked, and when I start fooling with them, I start out learning them obedience. That's part of the obedience training. I use a whistle. They come into me with a whistle. I've got toners and shockers, which shocker can run a dog if you don't know what you're doing with it. Of course, different dogs, different personality. Some you don't have to use shockers. Some you have to. You've got to read the dog.
That's one thing. They're just like us in that sense. It might be running a pack of beagles, have 10 or 12 beagles in it, and every one of them is a little different. They run different. They hunt different. They sound different. It's each and every one of them.
And that's the first thing you've got. And I tell everybody, you've got to understand what type of dog you're fooling with when you start training it. I look at them just like young kids. Some you can get loud with and they melt. Some you can get loud with and they just shake their head and go on.
That's right. I've seen it go both ways.
You've got to see that in the dog.
And to add on what Donald's saying is, as he get to know that dog, if that guy would take the time to learn those dogs and build those dogs on the way that they sit, especially with beagles, every dog can't be that front end dog. And if you find that dog that don't mind sitting behind that other dog and checking him and honoring him, and that other, because there's gonna be one dog, he ain't gonna do nothing back there and bark, but he's doing his job. And that way, you hear a lot of guys talk about breakdown. Those dogs is working. If you got a dog up there that's running too fast and he can't handle that front end, then they're gonna get a lot of breakdown because he's faster than the other package running. But if you know those dogs and you work with those dogs, well, this dog's a little fast, I'll move him back, and then I'll take this other dog and I'll put him in. He works well with these other dogs. Before you know it, you got 4 dogs that you won't hardly have any breakdown. Because they're not overrunning their nose, a lot of them will say. Now, you can't have a dog that'll get a little too much rabbit, but when you're out there meat hunting, you don't really care about that. You're just trying to get that rabbit, you know what I mean?
That's right. That's right. Well, guys, we're going to go over right now and do this week's Product of the Week. This week's Product of the Week is being sponsored by Caney Fork Outdoors. You guys can find them at cfoutdoors.com or get off I-40 there at the Center Hill Dam exit. Go to the bottom of the hill and take a right. You'll find them at the Big Rock Market. Let them get you outfitted and on the river and ready to go for this spring in that kayak, and they'll take care of all your needs. All right, let me show y'all what we got tonight. These are crappie bites, and these can come in handy sometimes, guys. It's not something that we use all the time, but when they work, they work. And what we do is, if you got finicky fish, they're not acting right, they're not hitting the jig that you would normally have them eating, sometimes you can take one of these little crappie bites and just add it behind your jig there, and it can change everything in the world. So But one of my favorite things about this, anytime we ever see this, we brag on this. But right on top of this, y'all probably can't see it, but it says right there, "Made in the USA."
Yeah.
So that's a big deal to us. But y'all, these are from Magic Bait, and y'all can get them at magicbait.com. They're also at most of your major retailers, outdoor stores. You can pick these up. And there's a multitude of colors you can get. I know Terry and them like some other different colors. You know, they make fun of my pink over here. And it works pretty good. But anyhow, guys, again, check them out over at magicbait.com and get some crappie bites. Get several different colors so you can hide the color they're actually biting from your buddies and show them the other one. We'll be back here in just a minute. Go to the phone lines. We'll have some more Southern Woods and Waters.